Good afternoon, comrades. I wanted to discuss a little bit about what is reform. Now, reform is not necessarily counter-revolutionary, uh, depending on the wording, application, and the situation of the socialistic society at hand. For example, agrarian reform, which is the redistribution or expropriation of land from the rich to the peasants, to the workers in the urban and the country areas of the nation as a whole. But for instance, with healthcare reform in countries like Canada and Europe and other developed nations, uh, you don't have the power that like you have in America with the insurance industries, the pharmaceuticals corporations, etc., who influence policy and prevent Obama, when fully implemented, from having his so-called healthcare reform reaching all Americans, all the citizens, as it is in other nations. Now, in Latin America and the United States, in order to have healthcare, you need a revolution. And in essence, it's ultimately run with a revolution of thought, which is an organized revolutionary action in a movement of the masses towards justice, of course, towards compensating the people as a whole in an unjust system. So it's like a wound suffered from an injustice. It's like reform historically is temporary concessions given to workers. Now, I'm not saying that that's the classical liberal or libertarian socialists that they'd be called today, but a lot of the first so-called liberals or leftists made those temporary concessions to the workers and unions, so they would back the war effort in the factories supplying the war, while the conservative isolationists were against the war. So this is a way to counter them aggressively. But it's just temporary. It's like the wound I was mentioning. It's like putting a band-aid on a flesh wound from a gunshot. It might stop some bleeding, but the doctor has to scientifically go in there and make a procedure or an operation, take the bullet out, and heal that wound. And that is what the people need. The people need their wounds to be healed with a revolution, and not with the reform and the conditions here in America. Thank you, comrades.